Okay, this is an experimental hike. I've done this hike before. This is the Moalepe Trail on the northeastern side of Kauai. And we're just going to hike to the top, have a cup of tea, and head back down. So, a little bit more in just a little bit. Hopefully you can see over my shoulder, state of Hawaii, Moalepe Trail, and then hunting season is open, so we'll stay on the trail, and we're just going to hike. I'm carrying my backpack. This trail is only about 1.25 miles, 1.5 miles. We'll find out when I get to the top, but this is the beginning of the trail. I'll turn around a little bit more here, show you the mountains in the background, and then as I go further on, we'll see how I do. So we'll talk to you in a bit. Okay, well, we're at the 1/4 mile marker. That took a few minutes, 6 minutes, not bad. Now, I've done this trail before with my wife. As you can see, there's not much of an incline. That's actually the way I'm going. The camera's pointing behind me. That's the way we're headed. Now I'm going to turn this around. I don't know how the sun's going to affect the camera. Hopefully it don't affect it too much. But behind me, where we just came from, it's not a bad incline. Percentage-wise, I don't really know. But angle-wise, 5 degrees, 7 degrees. It's just a dirt road. People have cattle here on both sides. As you can see, there's a fence to my right, my left, and the road itself is a state maintained, theoretically, road. It is well taken care of, as you can see, though. It's kept clear. There's people ride their horses up here. They bring their dogs. They do the mountain biking, uphill, downhill racing. One reason that I brought the backpack is because I want to try to get in some kind of shape. I would really love to do part of the Appalachian Trail within the next year or two. And this is my attempt at getting back into shape. So I got a year. We'll see what happens over this year. And I'm going to turn around right quick, show you where we're going. Bit of an incline, maybe 10 degrees, 12 degrees at an angle. So I'm going to shut the camera off so that I can concentrate on breathing, because I'm really not in all that great shape right now. But maybe if I do more of these videos, it'll give me an excuse to get out into the woods. And then I enjoy watching people like Syntax 77 and a bunch of other people with their hiking videos as well. And they're always showing their gear and what they're carrying. My pack is heavy intentionally. I don't know how much it weighs, but it has a small 2-person tent. Got my GPS with me, my cell phone, as you can see, because we do have good reception here. And when I get to the top, I plan on setting up my pocket rocket, make a hot cup of tea. So I'll go over some of the stuff that I carried with me today, just to be carrying it. There's no overnighter. It's just a hike. So I hope you enjoy the video, and hopefully I'll do more in the future if you do like them. So I'll talk to you in a little bit. Hello again. I wanted to give a view right here where I'm at. I'm going to do a quick pan. You're not going to see much different except the mountain over my shoulder, which it's a nice view, things to come. There's another nice view. Actually, there's a few on the way, and I'll try to get them. But the rest of the trail, as you can see, is fence, gullies. I'm going to call it undergrowth more than anything. There's actually coffee plants, guava plants here. Behind me is a ravine. There's cattle back up in there. I think there's a mango tree up here too. If it is, I'll make sure that I get it. So it's winter right now, where we don't have a lot of the fruit. I'm going to go ahead and just point the camera and talk. We don't have a lot of the fruit here that right now, because it is winter. The nice thing is there's always something growing out here that you can munch on if you don't mind just popping fruit fresh off the trail into your mouth and chewing on it. And every time I go with my wife, I really enjoy it because she's from here on Kauai, and her father and grandfather taught her and her sister a lot about the vegetation here, what's safe to eat, what's not safe to eat, and she's kind of passing that on to me, which I'm really enjoying. So anyway, I'll come back with more. I just wanted to show you the mountain range up there, and a little bit more of the trail, and I'll be back in a little while. Oh, actually, hold on a second here. If you look on the right, we're at the half-mile marker now. Oh boy, I'll tell you what, working hard today. There's the half-mile marker. So I think we're going about 1.25 miles to 1.5 miles up to the picnic area up on the knoll on top. So we'll be back in a little while. Okay, if you look over my right shoulder, I'll stand still for a second. You'll notice there's no mountains back there. It's actually the Pacific Ocean. And from this angle, it's looking slightly northeast. We are here on Kauai, about 3,000 miles from the closest landfall on the mainland of the United States. But I figured you'd enjoy the view of the Pacific, even though you can't really see much of anything but emptiness, which is pretty much what the ocean is. It's wetland with the mountains below it rather than on top of it. That's the way, as a sailor, we always had it. And looking behind me, there's another mountain range. That's called Sleeping Giant. We have hiked to the top of that. No camping, not that. But I'll get into the camping one weekend. I'm hoping that I can camp up here, but I need to go find out if there's a sign up there that says camping permits are required. And then that's in front of us. Nice view. Sorry about the bobbing of the camera there. And I'll be back in a little while. It's a nice day to be out today. It's not too hot. It's not chilly. Never gets cold here. Last night got down to about 63, and we were bundled up with socks and PJs and a jacket. Yeah, just the way it is. So anyway, enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, just another quick stop. Like I said, I'm not trying to cover too much ground today. The mountain range you see behind me over here, that's the tallest mountain on this island. That's Mount Waialeale. It's close to 6,000 feet. It's like 5,762, something like that. If you're interested, you can look up the stats, but it's about 6,000 feet. And trail continues behind me there. Not too bad. And then that's the same mountain range behind me right now you've been seeing for the entire trail. We just passed the 3/4 mile marker there. And just a view of the terrain around us here. It's actually quite nice. Pretty place. And we'll have some more as we get up towards the top, the picnic area up there. Make a cup of tea. And what I'll do in the end of this video is I'll try to make a list of some of the or throughout this video I'll name some of the websites that have encouraged me to get back out here on a trail and just, you know, stay kind of physically fit, get back into the outdoors again, and just enjoy being outside, because my job keeps me inside all the time. Before I do that, just ran across some guavas here. Take the camera up here. Those little fellas right there, they're young right now, as you can tell, but you give those guys about a month, they'll turn red. Not a bright red, kind of a dull red. But you just pop those in your mouth and you eat one every now and then. I don't recommend that you eat a whole bunch of them at once because they have a tendency to make an excellent laxative. But if you eat 3 or 4 every now and then while you're on the trail, just to keep your tongue enticed, you're pretty safe there. So anyway, hope you enjoy the video. I'm enjoying being outside. I'm in no hurry, as you can tell. And we'll see how this video turns out once I go through and edit it and try to make it look a little more professional. So I'll talk to you in a little while. Now, this is a nice change to the trail. We're kind of away from the farmland back there with the cattle, and this is more of a open trail. Somebody does come up here with a tractor and clear it to keep it drained. This is one of our favorite little spots on this trail because it's kind of open. You can relax a little bit. The bugs get pretty bad sometimes. Right now it's cooler, so they're not as bad, but you've always got little critters wanting to get a little bit of blood from you every now and then, so just got to be careful. Take some bug spray. Stay off of the ground if you can. And the shade is welcome. It was beginning to get a little hot out there on the trail. I started out early this morning, about 9. It's 9:30 now. Still got a little ways to go. Not too bad. Now on the right, pivot the camera here. That's the left, by the way. But over here on the right, same mountain range. No different. A little bit better view, higher altitude. I haven't checked the GPS for the altitude. I will when we get to our destination. Gone a little over a mile. And that's the trail behind me. I'm trying to make it to where the camera's not always looking behind me. That can get boring. But holding it steady behind me is a little more difficult and challenging. So we'll see if this part makes it in the video. Okay, I'm going to apologize for the sun before it gets in the lens. What I wanted to show you here, actually on a ridge, as you can see here. Now, I know it doesn't look like it on the other side, which I'll show you in a minute. But if you look down this valley, I'll hold the camera a little more steady here. If you look down this valley, you'll see a mountain right in the middle of it. That's Sleeping Giant. You saw that earlier from a different angle. Behind Sleeping Giant, to the right and to the left, is the Pacific Ocean. That's looking east, basically towards Baja California, that way. So, and then behind me, there's a little bit of a ridge backing, but that falls down like this one does. And what these ridges are, these what look like valleys, are actually volcanic calderas from a few million years ago. And the walls have fallen down on one side or the other. And they've been eroded by rain, weather, wind. And now they're valleys instead. So, as you can see, the trail is beginning to narrow a little bit. Around this bend, it'll narrow a little more. Turns a little muddy here and there. There's a small creek. So, once I get to the creek, it's actually a slow running stream. I'll go ahead and videotape that a little bit. It smells good up here. It smells like ferns, which have a nice, pleasant smell to me anyway. Here's the other side. Right here, looking out into the same mountain range you've been looking at. I got the camera on wide angle, so you're not going to get a lot of detail, but the video should be nice still. And then two more things. One, I wanted to show you this really large, beautiful old tree. Don't know how old it is, but it's been there a long, long time. And then the second thing is, I wanted to mention earlier that another YouTube hiker and gear tester, which I really enjoy watching, his site is called the Outdoor Gear Review. I'm sure if you went to YouTube and typed in gear review or outdoor gear review, you'd get him as well. But he does a lot of gear reviews, but he also, like Syntax 77, he does a lot of hikes. Mostly North Carolina, West Virginia, sometimes down into Georgia, I believe. He's got some good videos, so if you get a chance, take a look at his website. If you like watching other people hike, get ideas from them, learn about gear, those are two good websites. There's other ones, as I remember them. I'll go ahead and put them on my future videos. This is that same old tree from a different angle, by the way. See the ferns growing in him. So anyway, back on the trail. We're almost to the top, actually. We don't have much further to go. So I'll do a quick 360 here, just to show you where I'm at. We came from down there. There's the big tree trunk. We just overlooked that. Overlooked there, the ridge, caldera. And we're headed up this way. So I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, I wanted to show what most of the hiking trails here in the state of Hawaii are like. I said most, not all. But most of them hug the side of a hill, like this one is. Take a look. There's another ridge right here. Not really a ridge, but we're just carved into the side of the hill. Slowly ascending. S-turns. Just following the contour of the mountain, really, more than anything. But as you can see, a little bit of steep, sometimes flat, sometimes downhill. You have a tendency with these trails, I'd say the majority, where it's climb up to the top and then down to the bottom. And what I mean is there's really not a lot of up and down like on the Appalachian Trail, where you have miles and miles of mountainous trails. Here you go up one mountain and either you go down the other side or you walk around the edge of a caldera and then go back down again. It's relatively simple. So there are trails that are not like that. There are some trails up on top of Mount Waialeale that are flat and actually go through a swamp that's up there, and that swamp provides a lot of fresh water down here, which lets you know that there's a lot of rain up there on those mountains. So I'm glad I got to show it to you when it wasn't over cloudy. And you can see that the topography has changed a little bit more. We're now in a pine, I call it pine, but actually here they call it ironwood. And as you can see, the ironwoods grow quite old in some places. It's a pretty place. When the wind blows, you can hear it blowing through the nettles, which is nice. So just came from up there, actually on a bit of a downhill. Got some moss growing. It's just a pretty place, that's all. And the shade is welcome, that's for sure. So met 3 couples on the trail so far. Here's some more behind me. It's turned out to be a nice hike. Gone about 2.5 miles. Not bad, considering the pack that I'm carrying. And we should be getting relatively close to the picnic area, or shelter, or whatever you want to call it. So we'll take a break there and enjoy a cup of tea. So, turn the camera around here. And you can see where I've been. And these ironwoods are really admirable trees. I like the bark. You can see them as I go by. They're dense in some areas. I guess all forests are that way though. Dense in some areas and not so dense in the others. Just enjoying the day. If you hear an airplane going overhead to my right or behind the camera, pan the camera around again. That's Mount Waialeale again. That's the tall one. And the tour airplanes and helicopters go by there multiple times a day. Big tourist thing. But it is pretty though. I've flown over there myself and enjoyed it. But getting up around 8,000 feet to get over that mountain, my little airplane don't like it that much. Just wanted to show you this old tree as we go by here. Anyway, the trail in front of us. And if you look kind of hard, you'll see a couple way down at the end, just going around the bend to the right. So I'm just going to keep hiking. I'll videotape some more later. Be back. Got a little mouse right there. I'm taking this with my cell phone. It's not the steadiest thing, and he don't think I can see him. But if you look, you can barely see his head right there. And his body. Can't see his tail, but he's hiding, so I'm going to leave him alone. We'll try to add this to the YouTube video if I can. Okay, we're coming up to the small stream that I talked about earlier in the video. It ain't nothing spectacular, but it is a stream and it is a change of pace. So, and as you can see, the bridge is slightly old, but we're going to go ahead and cross it anyway and head on just a little bit further to get to that picnic area. And hopefully just enjoy that cup of hot tea. So, don't really hear any water running at all, but there is water down there. Can't really see much. But the stream comes from up there. Right now there's a trickle of water down there. There's so much vegetation you can't really see it. I don't want to lean on these rails. They're kind of unsturdy. And then here's a sign that says end of the Moalepe Trail. The Kuilak Trail starts beyond the sign. 1/2 mile to the Kuilak picnic area and 1.7 miles to the Kehua Arboretum. And then from that sign it's about another 2 miles to the foot of the mountain. So what we're going to do, what I'm going to do, is after I have my tea and just enjoy a break for a little while, we're going to head back the way we came. Okay. And I'm going to stop for a second. And if you listen, you can hear a stream. It's down in that valley somewhere. Can't really see it from here. Too much vegetation. But it sounds nice. It's nice to hear it. It's always nice to listen to a stream. So we'll be back. This is why people pay so much to come to Hawaii, for views like this. And there are places in Honolulu and on Maui and on the Big Island that you can get views like this, but the only way to get the good view is to walk up here, which a lot of people can't do, don't want to do, or whatever. Time limited, physical limitations. But if you can, as you can see, it's well worth it. I'll just keep turning here to give you the 360. Behind me is where we just heard that stream a minute or so ago. And then I'll show you something about the big mountain across the way in just a moment. Like I said, these islands are volcanic, which everybody knows. And if you take a look at the base of the big long mountain there's actually a swamp up there, like I mentioned earlier. And when it rains a lot, there's some beautiful waterfalls. But if you look, you'll see the point of the mountain, the high point to the left. And if you follow it back, just about in the center of the camera, I'm guessing because I can't see through the camera, you'll see what looks like a big bowl at the bottom. It kind of comes out to the right and to the left, and then you'll see a gap if the camera is actually allowing it. Well, if you'll notice, there's another bowl to the right, and then another bowl to the right, and a smaller one, bigger one, bigger one, bigger one, and bigger one. All of those are volcano calderas. And what happens is the volcanic, or the lava pushes its way up, creates a basin, a bowl, a lake, and then as it cools off over the eons, centuries I should say, what you have left, it shrinks back down in there, and you have a bowl, a caldera. And then as the weather, the storms and the rain and the high winds come through and beat up on it, it starts to fall in on itself. So then you start getting ridge lines and ridge backs and just mountainous terrain like what you're seeing now. And then a few million years later, someone like me comes along and gets to share it with you on a video. So this is Hawaii. This is the Hawaii that everybody pays to come and see. And it's not all like this, but it's worth the visit. So I got a half mile to go. We're going to follow along this ridge and then through the trees up there a little bit, and then once we get to the picnic area, I'll come back on and we'll cook some tea. Okay, this is what we hiked for. Come up here and sit down and have that tea I've been talking so much about. This is a picnic area. It was worth a hike, a little over 3 miles, not much, like 3.1 miles one way. Hike out another 3.1 miles. A few other folks have joined us up here. And we just came from over there. So, and that's where we'll head off here in just a little bit. Okay, well, let's get out of here. Head back to the car. According to my GPS, I got 3.11 miles to go. So we're just going to putter along and take my time and head back to the truck and go home, take a shower, and start editing this video. Get it out there so the world can enjoy it, I hope. If I see anything exciting on the way back, I will definitely record it. And I want to apologize, I didn't record back there at the picnic area because there was a whole bunch of people there, and I didn't want to be a nuisance or bother anybody. So, but I did got out my pocket rocket and made a cup of hot water in a old can, and not sure if it was beans or what was in there. And then I'll show you guys how I set up my little camp kitchen. It works for me. It works for one person, but more on that later. So I'll show you the trail I'm on right now, and then record later if anything exciting happens. The trail I'm following follows along here. I'm going to pan to the right. There's a couple of ridges over there behind those two trees. And then on the opposite side of the valley over there, the trail continues. And you'll see up in there, there's some dark green foliage. And we're actually headed back over that way. So we're just going to make a loop around this valley here. So we'll talk to y'all later. Well, let's see. Let me just camera a little bit. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's better. Anyway, we've got about a mile, 1.03 miles or so to go. We're almost done. You can see the trail behind me. Turn the camera around here so you can see the trail in front of me. There we go. And we're just headed back out. We finally got out of the what I would call wilderness, even though it's really not. Maybe it is. But we're back on the road, the original track. And this road is about 1.08 miles long. Sorry about the camera tilt. Right here is the 1 mile marker that we saw earlier, which means that I got a mile to go to the gate. That's the mountain you saw this morning. Still there, probably will be for a few more million years, hope. And I'll talk to you more down at the truck while I relax my feet a little bit. And then I'll head home and edit this video, get it out there, so hopefully somebody else can enjoy this hike like I did. So I'll talk to you here in just a little while. Okay, well, this was the beginning. Now it's the end of the trail, that is. Once again, that is the Moalepe Trail on Kauai. And today was a total of 6.17 miles. Not bad for an old guy, out of shape, overweight. I got my ILBE pack. I'm very happy with that. It rides very comfortable. And once I lose a little bit more of this belly, it'll probably fit a little better too. So now it's time to stop by the store and then head home, take a nice hot shower, and edit this video. So I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed the walk, and I look forward to making my next one relatively soon. I'm not sure when. So until then, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.